Today I'll be speaking about the whole crisis in society. I'm going to do a few speeches today because some of the people have come down from yesterday from the demonstrations. So I'm not going to raise my voice much at the beginning. I'm just going to keep it nice and quiet, thinking in terms of the audience on the internet first of all. And then as the crowds gather a little bit later on, I'll make a couple of other speeches a bit more energetic. So I'm going to go through a few documents I've looked at this week first of all. I don't normally do that in such detail, but I've found that that people need to have some references to be able to, if you like, assess information. It's no good just asserting things, because that's being done everywhere. Now, obviously, the fact that something is a document doesn't make it true either, you know, even if it's written in a leading medical journal. But nevertheless, you know, I'm constructing my argument on the basis of whatever evidence I encounter when investigating the stories of the day, of the week, of the month, and of our era. So the first thing is an article from yesterday from The Lancet, and it's written by the former editor of The Lancet, and his name is Richard Horton. And Richard Horton, this is yesterday's Lancet. So it's probably, well, if not one of the top 3-4 medical journals in the world. And the headline is quite striking. It says, COVID-19 is not a pandemic. It's Richard Horton, The Lancet, yesterday. Not a pandemic. What does he mean? What he says is it's not a pandemic, it's a syngenic. And the syngenic concept is as follows. I explained this to Eric a few minutes ago. If a person has non-communicable diseases like cancer, like chronic obstructive pulmonary disorder, like heart disease, these are generally highest amongst the lowest socioeconomic categories. In other words, the working classes and the poor are those most likely to suffer from the ailments which make you susceptible to infection with a negative outcome if you get COVID-19. It is not, however, as he says here, it's not just a generalized disease which infects everybody and makes them ill and kills them. Instead of this, it's class related. It's related to social grouping and social status within society. And at the end of the article, I mean, I point you to The Lancet yesterday, Richard Horton, the article's called COVID-19 is not a pandemic. And it ends with some remarkable statement. He says, if the commission says they looked into this question about what you could do about the diseases people are dying from, that, or are suffering from, that make them susceptible to a negative outcome in COVID-19. So, first question is this. It is quite clear that the majority of deaths from COVID-19 are caused by illnesses far more prevalent amongst the working class and the poor. That's what he says. Second, he says there was a commission to investigate how to cure people, or how to get rid of these illnesses and reduce the mortality in these layers of the population, the working class and the poor. And it said the commission described how the availability of affordable, cost-effective interventions over the next decade could avert 5 million deaths. 5 million. Not like COVID-19 here, we got less than 1 million deaths, officially. But of course, the point he's making here is these aren't deaths which are actually just COVID-19. They're deaths from other, what they called until now, comorbidities. But these comorbidities aren't generalized comorbidities in the population. They are class specific. It is the ruling classes who hide away in big houses, who live in the countryside. Sorry?
How can you say it when you can show?
Well, yes, but...
And Bojo.
And what?
And Bojo.
Yes, some people have had it in different groupings. Some people have had it in the upper class and the working class. But it's a far higher prevalence and far higher death rate amongst the working class. That's a fact. That's a fact. Now, so this is Richard Horton's article in the Lancet today, yesterday. Yeah? It is not a pandemic, it's a syngenic. The lead, or one of the top leading medical journals in the world.